To be sitting here, you doing this again with you, I was in a position where I thought that would never happen again. And let me put a disclaimer on that too. That wasn't free play from Foxwoods. That was his own money. So we'll always come on here with you guys. This is what brought a lot of confidence out of me too. And it got me a lot more comfortable in this space to jump into something like that. I'm thinking about going down that road myself as well on my channel, and hopefully it works.
Hey everybody, welcome back to a special episode of the SlotsFan podcast. We're here in Las Vegas with the OG host of the podcast himself, NJ Slot Guy. Dude, I'm so happy to see you, man.
Matt, and the embrace is what makes this so great is because of everything that I was going through at one point. I thought I would never see any of you again. So, seeing people that mean a little bit more to you than just some, randoms is a lot better when you get that first hug, like, I'm back.
Yeah. What a year it's been. I think the last time we saw each other in person was last year.
Yeah.
Here, I guess. There. So, yeah. We've talked about it on the podcast before, but for people that may not know the whole story, you went through some really serious medical, emergency, critical stuff. And we're so happy that things worked out the way they did.
To be, sitting here, you doing this again with you, like I said, overlooking some beautiful purple mountains and watching the sunrise and set again, man. And I was in a position where I thought that would never happen again. So, taking it for what it is now, enjoying it a little bit more than I would, of course. And, getting to the next level, trying to get to the next level, Matt, trying to get everybody to the next level, including yourself.
Thank you.
So, without that happening, of course, I kind of left you guys in a rough spot, but me leaving you guys in that rough spot has now put you in front of everybody now. And I like that because now when I introduce you, people know who you are too. And I don't have to explain some sort of thing. And this is the guy, this is the guy behind it.
I appreciate that, man. And I think it was it worked out well because you laid so much of the groundwork, and not only with that, but just in general, the support that you've given me and the channel has been amazing. So thank you so much.
Of course, it's my pleasure. And I mean, we were sitting in this exact suite last year with Victor setting everything up, dealing with all my BS and nonsense, just ripping for interviews one after the other. And they are still some of my favorite interviews because of the way it looked. Gamble Smart being there and, seeing the journey that they went on over the last year has been incredible. Having FNS in there, Casino Fanatic Andy, like just some great people were sitting with me, upstairs in this suite just a year ago. That went quick. I want to say it went quick. It didn't go as quick because, I was laid in a hospital bed for half of the year. But, now again, Matt, just appreciating it and loving it. As soon as you asked me this, there's no, question about it. Like we set this up and, today, an hour ago, it'd be my pleasure. Of course, I will always come on here with you guys. This is what brought a lot of confidence out of me too. As much as I did have a channel, I was established and all that stuff. I now had to jump onto a different road of interviewing and podcasting and, face to face with people or StreamYarding or whatever it may be, and it got me a lot more comfortable in this space to jump into something like that. And, I'm thinking about going down that road myself as well on my channel, and hopefully it works.
Yeah, I can't wait to ask you some questions about your podcast plans, but I'm curious, rewinding a few months, it's not that long ago that you got cleared to even be able to fly anywhere.
Oh, man.
And now you're here, and when I saw you, you're looking amazing. I'm just curious, how are things going and how are you feeling?
I feel good. I feel old, Matt, because I was a very athletic person. Like right before this happened, I had just stopped playing football a couple of years back because, come on, what are we doing here? But man, I was so active in every single sport that I could because I'm not a gym person. I go to the gym to work out, so I get my exercise through, natural sports. And now to be, even after everything, and I am cleared and all that, how cleared am I? Like, I don't want to mess with my spine. This is a spinal thing. I'd roll one bowling ball the wrong way. I don't want to end up in that. That's what's the worry is feeling like that again. So like, even when I get like a slight headache or something, I'm kind of like,
it's got to be scary. But
not again, like, please just go away. Scared to take pills now after seeing what they do to you from, taking Tylenol to Advil. Don't take Advil for, this long because of the bleeding and the head. This was all stuff I wasn't familiar with. So it was very, very scary, but you know what? We're here. Let's focus on the positive.
Okay. I mentioned you getting cleared for flying. You didn't just fly from home to Vegas. You've been doing some exciting stuff before here.
Yes.
I saw some of the content and some of the photos. Looked like so much fun. For people that didn't catch it, you were co-emceeing Mr. Handpay's 1 million subscriber celebration. Was it at Foxwoods? Is that right?
At Foxwoods Resort Casino, yeah.
So tell people what it was all about, and if people should definitely go check out the content.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a bunch.
Yeah.
But what was it like for you, and what went down?
Oh man, I can't wait to tell you guys about this. So what made this so special was when he first told me about the event. I wasn't emceeing it. It was just his event. And of course, Mr. Handpay is a very, very good friend of mine. And you want to talk about, when all of this happened and the genuine worry, and like I said, I made lifelong friends in this, him being one of them, definitely. For somebody that I met who had 10,000 subscribers at the time and has not only stayed in touch with me, but now put me as a lead MC on his 1 million subscriber event. It's crazy. None of us have hit 1 million, right? So he was like the first of us to do it. So to be leading the way in that was incredible, Matt. I originally couldn't make it. Now, again, I didn't know I was emceeing. I was just like, Jason, I'm so sorry I can't make your 1 million subscribers. It's 2 days before G2A. As you know, I have 3 young kids. My wife works. I coach football. My kid plays, is the star of the show. So like, I don't like missing that stuff. I will always push this off for that unless business is business. And a week before that, he said, I want you to MC the event. And like, I got those chills in my body. Like, oh my God, like I've never done anything that big before. This is crazy. I'm used to speaking in front of a room of parents, coaches, and little kids that I'm used to, that I see on, 5 days a week. That's nothing for me. And yes, recording and doing the interviews and all that stuff, of course, but it's never a crowd in front of me. So I didn't know how this was going to go. Man, when I tell you, Matt, one of the greatest experiences of my life, and I can't, you guys have got to go watch it. It's different because I was sitting on stage for 4.5 hours, keeping everybody, at bay while everybody was watching him. So you don't see a lot of me and a lot of behind the scenes. So I don't know if they caught any of that and what we were doing and giving away merchandise in his Handpay, and just watching that live happen, knowing, he's 30 feet away, right over there doing it. He hit for never mind. I don't want to ruin it. Go check it out. But it was crazy. It was the first time I got to meet Bizoke, who's an awesome creator. What a professional, to not know somebody a day before that happened and then be on stage with them and just feeling like you've known this person for years is incredible. It showed the professionalism in this, and the expertise, how well-spoken he is. And it was very easy. If I was doing that by myself, it would have been, a lot different, but I had him to bounce things off of. We're going back and forth. And as it went on, we just felt it more, kind of like with this stuff, with the channels, with the interviews. Your interview today is probably better than the first one you did. Of course, you only get better with it, right? So it was kind of like that, man. It was nuts, man. It really was. I wish I could have made it. It was an awesome time.
Hey everybody, I wanted to take a very quick break to tell you about our sweepstakes casino of the week. Crown Coins. I personally play on Crown Coins and tons of other sweepstakes casinos, and I can tell you that Crown Coins is one of the best. I recently bought a coin package for $23.99 and I got 65 free sweepstakes coins. And remember, sweepstakes coins can be redeemed for cash prizes at a rate of $1 for 1 SC. I played Gates of Olympus and Fire Stampede 2, and I ran it up to 238 SC. I did a redemption for 200 SC, and after I verified my identity, I received an e-transfer the next day. SlotsFan is an affiliate of Crown Coins, so if you want to check it out and see what bonuses and games are available, please use the link in the description of this video. Thanks very much, and now back to the show.
For people that don't know what went down and what it was all about, can you describe the event and what was,
So Mr. Handpay just hit 1 million subscribers. So he had a gigantic, huge party. But not only that, like the day before, he was doing the Your Luck Has Arrived, where he finds somebody random in the casino and he gives them money. They hit 5 of those winners for $10,000 each. Then during the live stream, they were giving away a $10,000 package and a resorts pack and all this stuff. And I'm just like, man, well, look at him give away stuff. I wish I could do that. I don't have that kind of money, to do stuff like that. Mr. Handpay himself spent about $30,000 on the production of it. That wasn't Foxwoods. That was all him hiring a production team to make sure everything was crazy. They got him a huge cake. He came out on stage, thanked everybody, of course. And, he went live for his 1 million subscriber celebration where he put $1.1 million at risk. Matt. Right? Like, can't we like you could go downstairs on the floor with me and have some fun. Can you imagine me saying to you, hey man, come on, let's go put 1.1.
I don't know if it sounds like fun to me.
So scary. It's like, right. Cause I'm watching it too. And I'm going, every time he loses, there's dead spins because it's my friend too. I don't want to see him lose money. I don't want to see any of you lose money. So, it also had that on top of it. but they just threw, a huge party for him basically. And he sent out to his whole channel, for all the people to come. We had a stage for 4,000 people. That was actually
4,000.
it was a 4,000 capacity. I do not know the exact number, but I know for a fact, like the day before, there was like 2,000 people signed up.
That's sick.
And when you looked out onto the stage and you see all the bright lights and stuff, it looked like there was 20 billion people there,
So like bigger than SlotsFan at Foxwoods, maybe?
Yeah, definitely.
That's crazy. That's
really cool. Just for him too. Like, think about that. And you walked around that property and you just saw everybody with the Handpay shirts on, the Handpay. Oh, that's just
so real, man.
and like he can't walk through that place, obviously, without being grabbed or recognized and stuff. And he's a giant man. It's
very recognizable.
His head is the size of the table. So you could see it from a mile away. But to see all that support and just know that that is possible for any of us, So he doesn't realize it because he's doing his thing, but he's also opening up roads for everybody that supports him,
So without giving away the results, because everyone should go check out the actual content.
Fire.
Can you tease any, like, was there excitement in the 1.1 million? Was there anything you can kind of tease a little bit to get people excited?
All right, how about this? Watch this. I'm good at this. ×2, ×2, ×2, ×2. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
Now remember, this is a man that bets 250, 500, 700, 1,000. So when those ×2, ×2, ×2, ×2 comes out on those dragon lengths, he gets a little crazy. That's all I'm gonna say. Go check it out.
Sounds terrifying.
Terrifying. He was also doing high limit blackjack.
Okay.
Too, that he was cutting in on. You're talking about 33 a hand. Like he was doing 3 hands at 11,000 a piece.
No shit.
You're watching it and you're going, you're breathing like 10 going, oh my God. Because it's a lot different than slot machines. Of course, any table person would know that. And it's like the most he could have done on the floor was like the $2,500 spins, 5 dead spins is 12,000. He's putting that on one hand of blackjack and he's playing the whole table. It was so exciting it was so exciting as a fan to watch. Yeah. Outside of everything else and emceeing and everything and supporting him and being his friend, being just a customer, a patron, and a fan of his channel, that was awesome to watch. So they put it on a giant screen at the front of the stage so everybody could kind of like comedy shows up. You guys, yeah, it was crazy stuff.
Well, as much there's all kinds of different channels, and I love watching lower stakes, relatable. Yes, but there's something really special and exciting about being able to watch someone do that because, so few people have, the resources to do something like that. That's real money.
Real money, man. Yeah, that's not, he wasn't, and let me put a disclaimer on that too. That wasn't free play from Foxwoods. That wasn't promotional whatever from Foxwoods. That was his own money. We spoke about that and what he was doing, and I obviously trust his word, but I also watched it in person too.
Yeah.
And, it's like I said, he's what he spent on the production team, and I'm sure he obviously has his salaried people too, his employees he had to pay for that weekend. Think about all that. And then to risk 1.1 million of your own money to keep up with the space and what's going on. Not so stuff, man.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned sort of how him and some of the other big channels are really paving the way for what's possible. And, I know he's generous when it comes to raising other creators up. And it seems like that's a real thing in the community, and it's so cool to see big creators using that platform.
It's always something that I would pride myself on. I mean, I stopped trending, but at some point I was trending, going all the way up to the sky. And one thing I always did was I welcomed every channel, anybody that was starting a channel, anybody that was currently a channel, and I tried my best to build this community as best I could. And now those people are successful channels that have all, surpassed me in every single way. I couldn't be happier for them, in hopes that they will do the same thing. And again, our community just grows and grows and grows because of that. And now Jason is, I feel like leading the way. Yeah. At one point he was just one of us in the community that we met while, Tim and I had these big numbers and stuff, and we were taking everybody, and Jason just flew away with it. And then for SlotsFan to happen, I mean, Matt, you're talking about channels that had 10 subscribers, 100 subscribers, and they're out in the stratosphere now, 50,000, 60,000 subscribers.
Got to do it again.
All because of SlotsFan. It's going to happen.
How to do it? Is it?
To happen again.
Is it for
There's not really a lot of details going on, but it is floated out there. Mr. Handpay actually has it on his website under one of his dates, for January 24th. Now, will that date stick? I don't know. I've worked with Foxwoods before. And the main squeeze of SlotsFan, Chris Bailey, that did it with us, is not in the picture anymore to do that stuff. So, now they will see what happened with him with this one.
That's a good point.
If they didn't learn from SlotsFan, they definitely learned from this. Just to draw on Jason himself,
Yeah.
But now to have a Sloticon that a lot of slot channels and people didn't take serious or didn't come to it or whatever, now they want to be a part of it. Those numbers are going to double, triple, quadruple, 5 times, 10 times. So it's going to be massive, but I don't have details. I really don't.
But it's looking good.
It looks like it's going to happen per se.
Okay. Well, we're all hoping that,
I hope it does too. And I hope you're there.
I will. I was going to be there last time, and I would like Connecticut in January is a little sketchy.
Well, don't forget about there was a huge nor'easter coming through during Sloticon. That was not fun. There was 60-mile-per-hour winds outside. Flights were getting delayed. And let's not forget about the line of communication that you tried, going into Sloticon, and the guy that you emailed, this bald creator from New Jersey who completely ignored your email.
No, that's not completely ignored your No. I was ready to rock. I had flights and they all got canceled like the day of because of the storm. So, I mean, I've been to Foxwoods in the winter before, and it's not always pretty. It's
brutal, dude. Yeah, it's brutal. People don't understand that Northeast weather is.
It's funny. Once you get to Foxwoods, you don't have to go back outside.
You don't. There's zero reasons to it. There's nothing out there. Literally a resort, and there's nothing out. Heck, at night, you walk out, if you have one of those balcony rooms, all you see is trees.
Yeah.
And, there's stuff out there lurking. So, yeah, let's just stay here. We're going to stay here. We're not going down the street to the local bar.
Well, it's like a city inside that place. It's enormous, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be listed as one of the biggest casinos, I'm sure, out there. It has to be. And not only does it have great casino floor space, but it's all the other stuff that it has with it. It belongs in Vegas with the canal shop. The canal shops are downstairs. What am I saying? With their shops that they have, I forgot what they're even called now.
Yeah.
It has that Vegas feel to it. And you have, we can spend 15 minutes away too.
Yeah.
If you're feeling crazy.
I like that place.
You know what I mean? It's beautiful.
You mentioned before you kind of shouted out Jason for helping out other channels. And this is something that you've done and continue to do.
Absolutely.
And while we were walking up here, you literally shouted out a new channel that I need to talk to Johnny Slot.
Johnny Slots. You guys are going to enjoy Johnny Slots very much. I promise you will.
Okay. I look forward to meeting him. We're going to have him on the show.
Absolutely.
Are there any other channels that are, catching your attention, or anyone else that you want to shout out?
Oh, how dare you put me on the spot like that?
Hey, we can edit it. You can edit it.
Oh, we are going to, after tonight, I'll have a different answer for you. How's that sound?
Yeah, so tonight we're going to go to a influencer event.
Yeah, hoping an influencer. It's like a put together influencer event. You can't trust influencers.
Well, I was there. We did the same thing last year.
How often was that?
I was like,
how often is that?
Channels there.
Yes, it'll be the same thing.
Yeah.
It'll be the same thing. And don't forget, like last year in that group of people, it was all the higher end channels that have been in the space, since it's 6 years, 7 years, with all of us. And now you'll see that plus now all of these other up and comers. And what kind of people would we be? What kind of creators community would we be to not welcome them in to our circle? Because there are other channels out there, sadly, Matt, that aren't that way, or that they got the cold shoulder from originally when they started, and they have certain feelings towards it. Because then they meet me, or Tim, or I could shout out 100 people, and they're like, "Oh, this is how it really is." Yeah, this is how it is. Absolutely. Why wouldn't it be? Come on.
Yes. I think it's easy to fall into that kind of like fear-based thinking where it's like, oh, there's this like gatekeeping thing that starts happening where they're afraid that it's going to come at their expense. Someone else's success is going to come at their expense.
I don't get it.
Which I don't think is true.
I don't think it's true either. And I mean, prove me wrong if you need to. We're all eating from an infinite piece of pie here. We're all trying to make the same deals downstairs. Why is it, if I go to an IGT booth, it has to be just myself? Why wouldn't I have 5 other creators behind me going, hey, all of the people that have welcomed me and loved me, here are my people now too. Make your relationships. You know what I mean? And here you go. Like a duck leading or whatever, a horse leading the thing, the water, whatever it is.
It's also like it comes around, right? So like the person who's not so big now, maybe Jason's a good example, is going to be the guy who's going to be helping you in the future potentially.
You're absolutely right.
Or the guy who's going to not help you in the future.
Yeah.
Or not.
Yeah, you're right. And that's a great example to bring up, because like I said, when I met him and he's, hitting 10,000 subscribers, and I just was a fan of his, going, I'll never meet this guy, but he's entertaining and cool. And that, for him to seek me down in Vegas, call my name out. And meanwhile, now look at him, and he's Mr. Handpay, to never lose touch with me. And at one point, me giving him tips has turned into him calling me on a weekly or bi-weekly basis going, hey man, you should do this. Hey man, you should do this.
That's so cool.
And I have to credit the podcast stuff to him, because for 2 years he has been in my ear going, you got to get on stage. You have to have a microphone in your hand. You have to, and at that point it didn't hit. now I have one of the biggest creators in this community telling me to do exactly that. I'm going to take it that much more serious, you know?
Well, I can totally echo that sentiment. You're
Thank you.
awesome.
I appreciate it.
On camera. You talk about showing people love. I can only imagine how meaningful all that support was during what you went through in the last year.
Yeah.
And, I saw sort of from the outside, I saw several channels really stepping up
I couldn't believe that.
to support you.
But
Yeah, no, it was
credit,
boring, right?
but it would definitely be a discredit to them to say, I can't believe that, because I know these people, inside and out for the most part, and I know how genuine they are and how we work together. And to see them rally behind me, Matt, is really still to this day, I get the feeling it's hard to talk about it a little bit, because when up until this point, especially with having the slot channel, like I said to you before, like it was just a street kid meant to like work for the rest of your life, 9 to 5. And, it only resonates when I'm at home, I'm coaching football or whatever it is. And I'm talking to all these normal parents. And when I'm normal, I mean, what we do is abnormal. It absolutely is. To talk to these people that are working 9 to 5, their teachers or whatever it is, and then to explain this stuff to them, and to have those communities of kids that I've coached, that's a big one too, Matt. To see kids that were 13 or 14 years old when I coached them, they had no clue about life. And 8 years down the road, 9 years down the road, I'm laying in a hospital bed and I'm watching them donate to a GoFundMe for me. And I'm going, damn, how could that not get you? You know what I mean? Like, then you throw the whole community on top of it, and it's like, wow, man. Like, I love these channels. It doesn't have anything to do with donations. I didn't even want that to happen. You know that story too? Like, I didn't want to GoFundMe.
Okay.
I did it. So I wanted to do it
on your behalf.
that was gamble smart, gamble safe.
Okay.
And not discrediting Mr. Handpay and Mid-South Slots, because Mr. Handpay said it first, and I said, no way, Jason, I want nothing to do with that. No, I'm not a GoFundMe. What are we doing? I have health insurance. That was my ignorance.
Yeah, get ready.
I have health insurance. I'm good, dude. Like, my wife, we're fine. I'm not setting up a GoFundMe. This is crazy. This was before it got serious, though. And then Brandy, also from Mid-South Slots, was in my ear. And just to go off on a tangent here, my channel right now does not exist without Randy, because while I was sick and not able to do any of my videos, Randy got my username. I gave him my username and my password. He went on and he started putting together compilation. Like, he has a successful channel of his own to worry about, on top of a life of his own to worry about. And he put me on the front primary burner of his life until I got better. That means the world to me. And that is not discrediting the other channels that offered to do that as well. There were Kelly said, can I record anything for you? Can I do? And mate, no, Kelly, stop. You have your own life and own stuff to worry about. So just to go off on that tangent, then things got really bad, and I started bleeding in my head and blood clots and, all this other hospital nonsense. And finally, Dave from Gamble Smart was on the phone with me, and he said, GoFundMe. And I'm like, do it. I finally gave the thumbs up. I said, do it, not expecting either what it was going to do. But that was my own ignorance, not realizing this whole community that I built from everything that you just said, with the, look how great it is you're helping other channels. I didn't have that in my mind going into this. So to see them all now rally around me, like you said, it all comes back. And I mean, I didn't want it to come back in that way. I wanted it to come back in a way where I watch them do it with 3 other channels. That's what I want in return. But for them, outside of donations, don't even look at that. But just their support rallying around me, sharing this, sharing that. Please go watch NJ's old videos. I'm in a bed right now. I can't talk to anybody. It was incredible. I could shout out 30 to 50 of you guys. I love every single one of you.
It's really heartwarming.
Yeah, man. It's tough to talk about without not getting emotional, but I don't care.
Well, at the risk of you getting more emotional, I know one person in particular who showed you a lot of support, who I know you care a great deal about, and that's Donna.
Oh, man.
Because and to give everyone a bit of context, I met Donna for the first time last year at the Gamble Smart.
Sam.
Older, like an elderly woman from Boston, I think.
Connecticut up there, yeah.
And I think she lost her husband right before the pandemic.
Yeah.
And we spoke to her, and she explained to us that the slots community and the people that she met, the channels that she made relationships with, really played a big part in getting her through a really tough time in her life during the pandemic. She's by herself. And so a little while ago, she entered the World Tournament of Slots giveaway that we all did.
Yeah.
And she won a seat through
I couldn't
Gamble Smart's giveaway.
Matt.
So Donna is going to the Bahamas.
Yep.
1 in 500 chance of winning $1 million. Guaranteed chance of having a once in a lifetime experience. And the reason I started talking about this is you told me that she sent you 30 plus get well
That's,
card.
and that's not an over exaggeration. As you guys know, I over exaggerate because it's funny when somebody does. You know, if I said, "Oh my God, it feels like there's 20 people in this room right now, Matt, leave me alone." The over exaggeration notes has always been a comedy kick to it. I'm not exaggerating to you. It might be an understatement. Donna sent me about 30 get well cards, and just to read it, you know, and just see how this woman took time out of her day to write a love felt letter 30 to 50 times, you know, and send that to me was like crazy because the first time I met her was Lots of Fun last year, like you're saying. Same event. We were both at it. And that was her first time in Vegas with whatever. And she was just coming for the Gamble Smart thing.
Yeah.
Little did she know that also somebody, you know, that she watched on a daily.
He was freaking out that night because like you were there, Tim was there.
And I brought the crew.
Yeah.
And I love doing this to people, especially when I'm with other people behind me. I go, who else do you watch? In hopes that they're going to mention these people that I'm with, because if they don't, I'm like,
She did though.
okay, well, this is, you know, this one. But like, I go, who else do you watch? And she goes, oh my God, I love The Big Payback. And I go, yeah. I said, he's right here.
Yeah.
I said, come here, Tim. You know what I mean? And she was like, and I was like, who else do you watch? I was like, do you know who FNS Slots is? She goes, yes, I know. It's Eddie Rako. Come here. You know, Old School Slots. Come here. And it was just, that was also awesome to go support Gamble Smart. We came in a little bit on the late end, but he didn't know that was happening either. He didn't know I was bringing all those people with me. So I did that for them, for their support. You know, when we caught the tail end of it and we got to meet Donna and hear her whole story, she took a picture with all of us. You got to interview her.
That's right.
There, right? You were interviewing her, asked her a question.
Yeah, we posted it too. And she shouted out some of the channels like she did that really gave her a lot of support. And I could tell it really, you know, it meant a lot to her, that experience. And now she's going to the World Tours. Like, it was absolutely insane. So we're all rooting for her, to say the least.
Best of luck, Donna, of course. Best of luck to you. You deserve it. Like Matt said, it all comes around. I hope this is time.
And she's here. I saw her on Sunday at the Gamble Smart event. So
then it looks like,
into her. She should be here all week.
Looks like I have somebody else to text when I'm on the floor. So she's great.
So G2E, the conference that we're at right now, or the expo we're at, is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
What are your favorite parts of this trip? You know, I know there's a lot of business, but there's also a lot of socializing.
Yeah.
What's on your agenda? What are you excited about? Who are you excited to see?
So obviously, of course, I always love seeing all the new games that are going to come out that I'm going to play. I love seeing all the people I've made relationships with, all of the slot manufacturers and companies, and, you know, because you don't see them for a whole year, you know, basically. And, you know, again, the whole injury stuff makes it all different for those that have reached out from those slot manufacturers and checked up on me while I was sick. To see them and have that embrace is always awesome. And of course, man, my goal is to go down there, absolutely crush it, and show them somebody they've never seen before. And be like, yeah, I'm your guy, you know, here's a business card, give me a call, you know, and to just do that downstairs and spark up a relationship with somebody that I've only worked with once, thanks to Tim. And, you know, now it's ballooning into an event in Atlantic City, you know, just
very cool. That's so sweet. I mean, this kind of, you know, the podcasting, this emceeing that you're doing kind of opens up some other potential for what you can do for these brands, right? It's not just recording slot machine videos.
Yes, that's it. Let's open those roads and be very thankful for what I possess. Thanks to every one of you, you know, also instilling that in me. You know, now I know I have a little bit more, you know, than everybody else does in this space. And hopefully I can pave a new way for them. You know what I mean? And bring it out of them and say to myself, you're meant for this. You can do this too. Come on, let's do it. Yeah, let's start it, you know?
That's awesome, man. So regarding your channel, you launched the audio podcast?
No, not yet. I've been teasing. I've been teasing, no pleasing, like I say when I play the slots. Bad time right now with football and stuff going on because I need that space of time and not having to watch film during the day and all that other stuff. So I'm waiting for the right time. Maybe it'll be the new year. I kind of teased my people a little too early. I'm sorry, but it makes you look forward to something that much more. You know, we see teasers for trailers for movies that aren't coming out for a year or two, right?
Yeah.
What's a couple more months until I can perfect it and make sure it's perfect?
Well, we're excited and we'll certainly share it when it comes out.
Are you going to be one of my interviews? Like, oh, buddy. Yeah, everybody's do. They're falling in love with you little by little, man.
Oh, thank you, man.
So,
what about the Slots channel? What's new? What's exciting? And what are your plans in terms of Slots content?
So I've pulled back on my bets, which has been an absolute great thing, you know, for the pocket. But, you know, my people love it. I can sit here and eat an omelet. My people are going to be here to support me, right? No matter what. They don't care what I play. But, you know, you get the couple few that were only here for the, you know, the high limit play, and they have to let me know that before they unsubscribe, Matt. I don't know what gave them that whole thing, but they would never say it to your face. Doesn't matter. We'll do that a whole nother day. So, you know, losing people here and there, and obviously the injury, as much as Randy did do his best for me, they weren't getting new content. I was falling out of the algorithm. And so now I'm like, fighting a little bit of an uphill battle. But guess what? It reminds me of when I first started and, you had nothing and you worked your way to it. So whatever, you got to do some more work. That's fine.
What games are you enjoying playing right now?
I was enjoying, there's new machines down there that I didn't even know existed anymore. There's a Mega Diamond with the stack wilds now. That blows my mind. Haven't played it yet. I can't wait to play it. What have I played? You know what, Matt? I haven't really done too much playing. It was last night and this morning, not for too long. And I've just been doing like the same old, content for the time being, and then probably jump into the new stuff tomorrow or.
Okay. We're going to spend some time recording content on this trip.
Oh yeah. I mean, we were on the floor tonight at 6:15 this morning.
Nice. So much nicer.
There's nobody out there. I could be as loud as I want without disturbing anybody because usually I am a disturbance. I can curse and sing songs and put the machine on super duper loud and not have everybody, around me getting mad at me because they usually do.
Well, I'll be proud of you after tonight, if you can make it out there at 6:15 in the morning again tomorrow.
Sounds like a challenge to me, Matt. I hope you're ready for a nice wait
at 6:50.
Oh, see now that's something I'm down for. Now you're talking my language here. So 6:15, we'll get down to 8:50 and then get a couple hours of sleep. We'll be all right.
Well, Well, John, it's so nice to see you. I so appreciate you spending the time chatting with us. And I know I speak for so many people in the community when I say how happy we are that you're back and you're feeling good, and just wish you the best of luck, man. We appreciate everything so much.
Thank you, pal. I hope SlotsFan is, one of the biggest podcasts in the community. I will always be here to interview, help to guest interview. If you can't make one or something, never know. Like maybe you should tell Gamble Smart that you're going to interview them. All of a sudden they pop up and see my face and go, guess what, boys? You know what I mean? To one of those things. But yeah, always, you have me here, man. I'm so happy that this is still going on because, again, at one point I'm sitting there suffering through all this and I'm thinking about you guys, at that time, 2 days, 3 days in, and I'm going, oh man, SlotsFan. We did so many things together for something that didn't exist before the dinner we had last year. And it turned into, such a huge thing. I feel like for this community.
We're going to keep at it. We're having so much fun doing it. There's so many channels and so many new channels pulling up all the time. It's really exciting. So yeah, we're just grateful to be a part of it, and we'll be here.
I'll be tuning in, Matt.
Cool. All right. Thanks
for having me. Thank you very much for having me.
Subscribe to NJ Slot Guy.
Thank you. I appreciate it in advance, and make sure you're subscribing to SlotsFan as well, guys.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.